hi everybody, I'm Yvette from HCI and I've achieved the DSTA JC Scholarship and I'm in JC2 this year. Next slide, please. So a little bit about myself is that I'm from Hwa Chong and I was previously from Nanyang Girls High School. Next slide, please. So what I studied in Nanyang was mainly the basic subjects like language arts, Chinese, humans, as well as advanced math, triple science, and my third language was German. Next slide. So in Nanyang, I was in Nanyang Modern Dance, as you can see, in German, as well as I had an extra dance program outside of school. Next slide. So what else did I do outside of school when I was in Sec 4 was mainly the Cradle program in Science Center, where me and my friend, we built a DIY humidifier, as well as the DSTA Young Defense Scientist program, where we coded some machine learning things. Yeah, next slide. So for me, why did I choose the DSTA Scholarship? Next slide. So as you could tell from what I previously went for at the end of the year in Sec 4, I participated in the Cradle program as well as the YDST program, and I found interest in computer science as well as coding, etc., and therefore I decided to maybe take part in and try this DSTA scholarship so that I can find out whether or not I genuinely like this subject and whether or not I really want to pursue it in the future. Next slide. Okay, the second reason was actually pretty funny. So I found this email in my school email, which was from my teacher who would write a recommendation email if you were if you're interested to take the DSTA scholarship. So for me, I was contemplating it for a very long time and I missed it. Next slide. Yeah, so I missed it and then I was actually very sad. So then I was like, oh wait, since I'm actually this sad, right? Like maybe I should just try the DSTA scholarship. I mean, there's no harm trying, right? So I went to apply it and yeah, that was mainly why I chose the DSTA scholarship. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is the most interesting part, which was the application process. So the application process mainly consists of two main parts. So the first part was when you go to the BrightSparks portal. I think what I did was I went through the BrightSparks portal to apply for the DSTA scholarship. So you just fill in the very generic basic admin details like what your subject grades were, what you were interested in your portfolio, etc., etc. Then right after you submit the application, then a few weeks later, I think, then DSTA will come back to you and they will send you an email regarding an extra essay that you have to write about what you're interested in. Next slide, please. So this was mainly what you had to write for your essay. They sent me this and basically they said like you have to write a short essay of not more than 400 words. And I don't think I was allowed to show the main essay question because they told us not to share it. So I just tried to rephrase it. And what they mainly wanted us to write about was what areas of defense science we were interested in and how we can envision ourselves contributing to it in the future. So if let's say if you are worried about what kind of essays will come out, I think it will be around this kind of essays. Yeah. And I think the most important thing when it comes to writing your essay is to link what you have achieved outside of school. So for me, what I did was I linked my Cradle program, I linked how I used AutoCAD and LibreCAD in my Cradle program to further explain why I wanted to work in defense science. Yeah, next slide, please. Okay, so this is the part that a lot of people are very interested in, which is the interview process. Next slide. So the interview was actually still quite fresh in my mind. So I remember when I went to DSTA after they checked you in, etc. Then they bring you into this room where you have a lot of other candidates, and it was very stressful because that was the point where it was before you enter the interview room. So they'll probably put you with like different people, and it'll be very stressful because everyone seems very well prepared, and you feel very nervous to like take the interview. So at that point in time, you must remember to like just stay calm and like drink water. Okay, but I don't think this will probably happen in this year or next year because of the COVID situation. So after that, they will bring you into this room where there are 4 panelists. Yeah, four panelists to one interviewee, which was me. Next slide. Okay, so during the interview, what they mainly asked me was my academics, my CCA, and which was dance, as well as my third lang. So for your academics, they will mainly ask you what you're interested to pursue in the future years, what do you want to study in the future, like what are your career goals, etc., etc. And I think the main part of this part is to know how to phrase the answers properly. So what I did was, because I wasn't very sure of what I wanted to do in the future, so I just told them that I wanted to keep my options open, and I was not very sure, but I was probably inclined to go towards the science route. So I think the main point is just phrase answers properly and not just like, oh yeah, I really don't know what I want to do, because it may just seem like you're not prepared for this interview. Then the next part was my CCA. So as you know, dance is quite a intense CCA, just like every other CCA, and especially during the competition seasons or like performance seasons, right? Then you have to like come to school very early to practice, after school practice also. So there's hardly enough time for you to kind of catch up with your work. So they mainly asked me how I managed to balance between studies as well as my CCA and my dance outside of school. Then lastly, for German, they asked me, because I took German as my third language, so they asked me if, let's say they send me to Germany, would I be interested in going to Germany, because like I took German, and it's just up to you to interpret like how you want to explain the question. And what I said was, yeah, I was quite interested in it. And after that they'll probably ask you like, oh, why didn't you take German in your JC then? Then I said, because like in a more practical sense, like I wasn't planning to study in languages in the future, so I didn't take German. Yeah, so I think the main point is that you need to whatever that you wrote in your portfolio and in your essay, right? Like it will just come out. So you cannot lie in your essay or portfolio. Yeah. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay. So some takeaways that you should have, and some things you must take note of when you're going for the interview, is that remember to smile, because like it's very, very important to show that you're confident in yourself. Because like I remember when I was doing the interview, right, then at the start I was like super nervous, so I didn't really smile. Then like I realized that I was very tense at the start. Then as I got like more relaxed, then I started smiling, right? Then it just felt like you're talking to your friend about like your life, which was a lot more chill. Then showing passion and be enthusiastic was, yeah, basically just don't sound like you're very annoyed and like bored everything. Link every point back to what you have learned from from every experience. So like let's say you basically elaborate on your points and not just say, oh, I like science. That's what you have to elaborate after that. And then lastly, if they ask you any other, like if you have any questions, right, like I think it's really important that you try to ask them something, because you ask them something, right, it shows that you're interested in taking up the scholarship. That's why you're very like interested, you're curious and ask more about the scholarship. Yeah. Next slide, please. Okay, so now let's talk about what will be in store if you were to get the scholarship. Next slide. Okay, so as you can see, I went to search up my emails for the email that they sent me when I got offered the DSTA scholarship. So mainly you get to have monetary awards, and then you get to participate in an internship. Next slide, please. Okay, so for the awards, the monetary awards, for 2 years you get $1,000. As in you get $2,000 in total, but $1,000 for every year lah. So your renewal for your scholarship depends really on your first year grades. But I don't think it should, like, you shouldn't be that stressed out about it, because I didn't get a B for one of my subjects, but they still managed to renew my scholarship for the next year. Yeah, so next slide, please. So next, the internship opportunity, it's not really just exclusive to a DSTA JC scholar, because everybody is actually allowed to participate in this internship. You can just, if I'm not wrong, your school will send you an email, or like they'll link you up somehow to participate and sign up in these internships. And this internship is 1 month long, and it's usually in the December holidays. Yeah, next slide, please. Okay, so for my internship at DSTA, there were many different types of internships that I could have signed up, such as some Python programming, machine learning, etc., or drone programming as well. But the thing is that some of them you need some prerequisites, which include being fluent in Python programming, which I was not very fluent in it, because I don't take computing, so I don't really practice Python programming. So I decided to take up this relatively new internship called Adaptive Training Curriculum and Gamification for Training Simulators. Basically, it's the only prerequisite that it has is that you need to be a very people kind of person because you need to talk to a lot of people. So what you do is basically we created user interface for those training programs that they have for the army. Like in the army, they have maybe like some aircraft simulator, that kind of thing. So that's what we do to make it like more interesting for them. And then the very important one of the other things that we do is to interview people, which was very fun because you get to meet different people. Yeah, next. Okay, so during your internship at DSTA, you will definitely be attached to mentors. And one of my favorite part was really the facilities at DSTA because they had like really, really good food. And I remember I really liked the Western style because the auntie was really nice. And then like the food was actually very affordable as well. Then they have very good facilities such as foosball tables and gyms. And then me and my group of friends, as you can see in that picture, we were all doing the same internship. So we would go to the foosball table after lunch and like play. Yeah. And so because of COVID, we have to work 3 days at home, 3 days in office and 2 days at home. Yep, next slide, please. So by the time it was the end of the internship, the only thing I had to deliver was just to present the new interface that we had to SAF. Yeah, next slide. Okay, yeah, that's mainly what I have to present for today. And if you have any other questions, you can just say in the chat. Type it in the chat, and then I will try to reply you. Yeah, thank you.